Hi out there, welcome to How Do I Feed This Kid Naturally? I'm Amy Bosch and I'm starting a YouTube channel and a podcast to simply share my experiences of how to start feeding my child. I'm not a doctor and I don't have much nutritional education, formal nutritional education. I have tried and experimented with several diets and ways of eating throughout my career, my short, medium-lived athletic career. Tonight I just wanted to give you a brief introduction to myself, what inspired this series, and what I hope you get out of it. I live in Santa Cruz, California with my husband and our son. He is 5 months old right now. I would introduce him, but he's sleeping, which is the only way I can get any video done. I grew up, starting in my early teens, I got very interested in sports. And I swam competitively in college. I swam and I rowed crew, and then transferred over into cycling. Actually joined the cycling team when we ran out of eligibility. And then after graduating college and joining the workforce and traveling, I fell in love with running because it was something that I could do very easily. And in 2011, after running my second marathon, I decided I had had it with competitive sports. I was just tired and moved to Santa Cruz and became a surf and yoga bum. I completed my 200-hour yoga teacher training in 2013, and my thinking just transitioned from how do I become better at something faster, stronger, how do I lose weight, I was always trying to lose weight, to how do I feel better, how can I sleep better, how can I have better mental clarity, how can I get the aches and pains out of my body. So my diet changed, and my pregnancy was also a huge catalyst for that change. My first trimester of pregnancy, I couldn't eat anything. I didn't have morning sickness, but I was nauseated for 3 months, and I lost 10 pounds. And prior to becoming pregnant, I had eliminated dairy, I had eliminated gluten, I reduced the amount of whole grain bread, I wasn't eating any pasta. My diet was just very anemic. I was very anemic. And when I hit my second trimester and started eating, I started eating bread, meat, and cheese. And I really liked it. And I learned how to listen to my body. And I learned that my body wanted whole foods. Ironically, I didn't crave a lot of processed foods. I just wanted whole foods. And so some of my inspiration for doing this, I've been listening to a podcast by Dr. Aviva Romm called Natural MD Radio. And she is a doctor that went to medical school at 39, which I think is fantastic. I've been thinking about a career change, contemplating a big jump from engineering to physical therapy. I did ultimately decide against physical therapy after finding out I was pregnant. And now I'm thinking of maybe going the more holistic, integrative medicine approach, building on yoga. I'm finding Pilates and roping to be very interesting as well, but that's all a side note. So I was listening to this podcast, and she had a woman on to talk about children's allergies. And the woman, Robin O'Brien, wrote this book called The Unhealthy Truth. And she also has a TED Talk, www.ted.com, and just search for Robin O'Brien. I'm not very far into her book, but I listened to the podcast interview about allergies in children, and I watched a TED Talk, and I was really moved. She talks a lot about the hidden processes in our food and the correlations to ADHD and hyperactive children, and what sugars and food dyes and all these things that we just assume is safe to feed our kids, what the negative impacts are. And the worst case is if your child has an allergy, and just the fear that you're struck with in worrying about your child getting a hold of these foods that they're allergic to, and it could kill them. And being a new mother, that struck a chord with me. So I've started doing a lot of research on what to feed my son as he's just starting to eat solid foods. And what I plan to do is every month or at every milestone where I introduce something new or there's a huge dietary shift, I'm going to do a podcast or a video and just explain what I gave him, why I gave it to him, the research that I did that helped me make the decision, what the outcomes were, what worked and what didn't, and give you updates on how he's doing. My first podcast is already up, video is already up, where I talk about the 4-month regression and how I supplemented his diet with coconut milk and how amazing that's been. So I really hope that you join me in this movement to getting back to eating naturally. And I really believe that if we instill this in our children, it's going to protect our future as a family, as a neighborhood, as a community, as a nation. Without healthy, intelligent humans, what's going to become of us? So that's my motivation. Basically, I just want to share the information that I get. I know there's a lot out there, and it can be kind of daunting, especially when it comes to nutrition and diets. I've been pulled in so many different directions. But I don't want to talk about diets. I want to talk about just whole food and eating naturally. So again, I hope you'll follow along with us, and I hope you're inspired, and please visit my website, www.feedthiskid. You can email me at amy.feedthiskid@gmail.com, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.